Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
Hi, and welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media, and thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to start tonight's show talking with Portland Youth Builders. It's the first of 3 interviews tonight where we're really focusing on youth. Portland Youth Builders has been around for over 20 years and has done some really amazing work. And here to represent the Youth Builders, I have Malika Belhaj. You're in charge of community outreach and partnerships. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
And Angie Segovia Madrigal, you're alumni of Portland Youth Builders. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about Portland Youth Builders. I know a little bit, but I know that you work with youth in a variety of ways. Can you kind of just give me a synopsis of what it is you do?
Sure, yeah. So we are an alternative high school. So we kind of have two parts to our program. We're mostly focused on high school completion. So our students either work on finishing their high school diploma or receiving a GED.
Okay.
And then they simultaneously do job readiness programming. And so they're working on either construction-based work in the trades or computer technology.
So those are the two career paths that you support at Portland Youth Builders.
Yeah.
So when you say they're going to, or they're getting their GED or their diploma, and then simultaneously they're working on this, so they're doing both of the. That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, yeah. I mean, I think that our students are, from what I experience working there, are very dedicated to their future and to their experience both at PYB and then outside of PYB. So both finishing academics and understanding that that is a part of kind of a career pathway, and then also kind of focusing on some job skills and vocational training. And while we have those two programs, not everybody in our school decides to go on to computer technology or construction.
Right.
And so I think that's something important to remember, that some students, like Angie, are really interested in going into the trades and end up doing that, where some students come in and they get some job readiness kind of skills and vocational training, things to put on resumes, but they maybe want to go to university. And so we really support kind of whatever path it is that that individual student wants to pursue.
Okay, so tell me what are the qualifications or what are the requirements for becoming a part of PYB? What are the ages and other factors that might contribute to attending?
Yeah, so we serve young adults who are between the ages of 17 and 24. We also serve young adults who are in partnering districts, and that can get kind of confusing based on age, but we partner right now with Portland Public Schools, David Douglas, Centennial, and Gresham Barlow. And we're always kind of trying to change those partnerships in terms of add them on. If, say, Park Rose or Reynolds, these kind of other districts that we aren't currently partnered with, but so they would have to be a part of one of those districts. And then we are here to serve low-income members of our community. And so we prioritize that as part of our mission.
Okay, that's great. Now, there's a lot of issues that can contribute to somebody who, may not want to stay at a traditional high school, may want to go to an alternative high school. And some of those are just the problems of the system. Some of them are, something about that person. They just don't, it just doesn't work for them at a particular place. So this is an alternative to a regular high school. But the fact that you serve all those different districts is really a plus. Angie, what brought you to Portland Youth Builders? What?
I wanted to change my life, really.
Yeah?
Like, I felt that I wasn't ready to start a career, and high school really didn't prepare me for any of that.
And so you are one of the ones who did go into the construction trade, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that something that you had thought about going into before you went to Portland Youth Builders, or did you just get exposed to that there?
No, I knew I wanted to be a Mason.
Oh, you did?
On the first day, I told them that I wanted to be a Mason.
And is that what you're doing now?
Yeah. Wow. I'm on the way there.
You're on the way there, yeah, because that's a journey right there. So you did you get your high school diploma or GED there, and then went through the job training?
Yeah, I got my GED, and I took as much as I can from the program. I got my Bully Tier 1 certification. I got my Bully Tier 3 certification.
What does that mean?
The Bureau of Labor and Industries.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, it's like the most highest recommendation from the school.
Wow.
So I left that school pretty much really prepared, because they gave me all the opportunities there to.
So for you, it was a good experience then, huh?
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody who was thinking about going there but really didn't know what they wanted to do? Would you still recommend it to them, even if they weren't as focused as you were?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think was what was the most beneficial part of being a part of Portland Youth Builders for you?
The fact that I actually knew what my future was going to look like, that I actually had choices for my future.
It's a pretty good feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
So from what I understand now, what you're doing now is you're a finisher, is that right?
Yeah, I'm a first level finisher apprentice.
And so, and is that a union position?
Yeah, I'm a member at the Bricklayers Union.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, really, because that's a really solid future right there. I mean, that's a job you can count on, and there's plenty of jobs out there, especially all the construction going on around here now. So yeah, that's got to be a really good feeling. So what? Can you tell me, Malika, about any other, tell me about some other stories about some of the kids that have come there that have moved on from Portland Youth Builders. Do you keep up on what some of them are doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can't have a school without students, and the students are really what make our school as kind of powerful as it is. We have a very strong community. There's about 50 to 70 students at any given point. And every student's story is completely different than the next. Some students, like Angie, can kind of move through our program very quickly. And some students take a little bit of a longer time. Our program lasts about a year, and so some students, can finish in, say, 7 to 8 months, and some 15, and we kind of allow that path to be guided by the student. But there are several, anecdotes that I could share of, students that have gone on to do amazing things in their lives. And when I first was connected with Portland Youth Builders was when I was a student at PCC Southeast several years ago. I met a young woman who had gone through PYB and received her GED, and also went through the construction training program. And she and I were in classes at PCC together, and she ultimately went on to get a degree from Lewis and Clark.
Wow.
And so I think that really kind of planted the seed in my mind that this is a really powerful program for young people in this community. So I mean, there's countless stories.
And it's nice to hear those success stories, because then it sort of reaffirms the work that you're doing. Yeah. So you have the high school completion program. That's part of it, and then the kids are going to get their job training at the same time, which it's a lot of work. I mean, you have to be pretty motivated, I think, to do that. So the computer technology job training what all does that involve, and what are they ready to do when they get out of there?
Yeah, so our students kind of choose either construction or technology, and in the computer technology program, they're mostly focused on coding and on web development and on refurbishing computers, so really kind of just baseline technology skills. They get different certifications that kind of would allow them to get into entry-level computer technology positions, and kind of just get a lot of hands-on work in terms of computer tech. That program is a little bit smaller, and so there's a lot of kind of intimacy in terms of teacher to student and teaching style, which it can be very challenging to do computer technology because everything is changing all the time.
That's right. You have to really keep up on it. Yeah.
Right. And so they're working towards all of those different things. And
they have their own building too.
Yeah, and there's a lot of technology related in building.
Yeah, and that kind of thing is changing really fast too. I was just talking to somebody yesterday about some buildings that are being built that are all, it's a new kind of material that they're using that was really innovative and you know, ecologically sound. And I mean, there's new things happening all the time in that industry too. You have to keep up on it. So it's always a challenge. So when people are, if somebody's interested in being part of this, what is their first step? What do they need to do?
Their first step is to come to one of our information sessions. Okay. So we have info sessions every Thursday at 3:30 p.m.
Every Thursday, that's
every
great.
Single week. And yeah, we try to keep, we really appreciate consistency. And I think that model of consistency helps to support our students as they're going through a very intensive program. Because the students that succeed in our program are those who are really motivated to work towards their goals and really learning about asking for support in that process. So coming to an info session on Thursdays at 3:30 at our building, our admissions coordinator, Ruthie, kind of takes those individuals that are there through a tour of the physical school itself and then also just kind of talks about the different programs that we have and the resources that we offer. And then the students that are there get to share with some alumni or students who are in the building, share a little bit of their experience. And the people that participate in that can kind of see, is this something that I would want to do? Or maybe another program is a better fit for me. So I think that that's the best kind of first start.
Good way to start. Have you participated in that, Angie? Have you been there to the info sessions?
I spoke at one.
Did you?
But
yeah.
To enter PYB, I actually had to message Ruthie because I worked on Thursdays.
Oh, okay.
So they had a lot of flexibility with me, which I was really grateful that they did.
That's great. You must have a lot of community partners to help, I would think, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
To be able to help expose students to possible job opportunities and that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So who are some of the organizations that you work with, or do you work with businesses and nonprofits, other nonprofits, or?
Yeah, we work with several community partners. I think that the construction trainers could probably speak to the kind of more union-based partnerships that they have. I know Anderson Construction and these kind of
the big ones.
The big ones. Yeah. We have a lot of connections with those guys. But in terms of partners, I mean, we work with Rose Community Development Corporation, which is in our neighborhood. They've been around for several years, and they're dedicated to building low-income housing in our community, and which is very much in alignment with our mission.
Right.
Because our students who are in the construction program are working with Habitat for Humanity to build low-income housing in our neighborhood and across the city. And so we partner with Rose in various capacities. We've done a lot of volunteer work with them just to support some of their projects that they might need help on. We just helped build a courtyard at Kelly Elementary School, which is in our neighborhood, and so we try to keep things in the neighborhood to really support Lentz and kind of recognize
and you're right
that
across
we're a
from
school.
Lentz Park there, right? Or Normandale and Lentz Park.
Yeah, Lentz Park.
Yeah, exactly where that is. So that's an important thing, I think, and because you're not only having students work with Habitat for Humanity and working in the community, you're also teaching how important it is to be part of your community.
Yeah.
Because that's, you get something from the community, you need to give back, and I think that's really important. So what's your future hold for you? You're on track to become a Mason, is that right?
Yeah.
And how does that look? How long of a process is that? Do you know?
So it's supposed to be a year in the finisher program, and then 3 to 4 years as a bricklayer apprentice. And after I journey out, I'll be a Mason.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting, huh? Yeah. So is that something you ever thought you'd be able to achieve before? It sounds like you were, you knew what you wanted to do, but that you had to make some changes.
How to get there.
Yeah. I think that's the way it is for a lot of kids. They don't, it's easy to get lost. I remember as a kid, I had no idea what I wanted to be, and it was really hard to figure that out. And sometimes it takes us years to find the dream job. But if you have that already, if you already know that, you're way ahead of a lot of us. So yeah. So what else is it that we need to know about Portland Youth Builders that would be important for somebody who is considering becoming part of that program?
Go for it.
The fact that it offers you another career path, not just four-year college.
Good point.
Because that's what a lot of high schools tell you to go to, four-year college. They rarely talk about the trades. Right. Because and I think that's been that way in the past, especially where
people thought that was the only path to success, just 4 years of college. But there are other ways to get there, and you're kind of living proof of that, I think. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. So if people need an alternative to regular high schools, if that's not working for them, they want something that perhaps is more supportive of their situation, or just want some opportunities for some job training along with high school, then one of the info sessions would be a good place to start. Check it out.
Yeah, and something I love to say about that too is that we hope that students stay in school and feel supported by their school, and or go to a school that feels like a good fit for them. And so if they, a lot of times we're here to support students who've fallen between those cracks, where maybe the public school didn't work for them and maybe another alternative school didn't work for them. And so we aren't in competition with our other school systems. We really want to work together towards supporting our young people and having their best, the best experience that they can have.
I think that sums it up very well. And we're out of time. Thank you so much. It's a really great organization. I know that MetroEast is going to be working with Portland Youth Builders some more in the future. So thank you very much, both of you, for being on here.
Thanks for having us.
And do check out their website. There's more information there about Portland Youth Builders. And you know when the info sessions are, every Thursday at 3. Right?
3:30.
3:30, okay. Thanks for watching this first segment. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more of Community Hotline.
Hotline is made possible with generous support by the Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission advocates on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels.
Documentary was more than I ever would have dreamed of doing.
This is a community media station.
It was phenomenal.
Ready, camera one.
What is it about this place that makes so many different people come together?
Ready, camera two.
Very professional, experienced people.
You can use these industry standard pieces of equipment.
Ready, camera three. Take three.
To be rich to do this.
Open people's eyes to something they've never even thought of before.
Cool stuff happens. It becomes this community.
That's going to really change who's telling the stories and who's controlling the messaging.